Hi everyone, welcome to Read to Respond August meeting. This is for the advanced students. Okay, and here I'm sharing my screen. So this is our agenda for today. I'll be explaining our awards, then we'll be conducting the read out loud. Because this is a re-recording, I'm going to be reading the entire short story out loud, but typically we have the students popcorn read. Then we'll have our discussion, our community service ideas, and finally our Q&A portion. These are the awards that we'll be handing out throughout the year. So we have 3 awards, our dedication award, our writing award, and finally our most improved award. So the dedication award goes to the students who've been regularly attending our meetings and who've been participating in our discussions, whether that be our discussion questions, read out loud, or even when discussing community service ideas. So we have 10 awards for the dedication prize and each one are $15. Then we have our writing awards. This is when students will write a short paragraph on what they learned, how they felt like they improved through Read to Respond. Our first place will get $100, our second place will get $75, our third place will get $50, and our finalists will get $20. Finally, we have our Most Improved Award. Like its title, this award will be going to the students who've shown the most progress with both their reading and the discussion skills. Like similar to writing, first place will get $100, second place will get $75, and third place will get $50. This is our attendance form. You can either click or copy and paste to the link or scan the QR code. Our code word for this month is leaf. We'll have a new code word every month or every meeting, and you always want to make sure to fill out this form to confirm your attendance and be eligible for the dedication award. Finally, we have our Student of the Month. So we'll be featuring one of you every month to get a chance at being highlighted. Make sure to participate in the read out loud, talk during our discussion, and think of community service ideas. Today, we're going to be reading out loud 11 by Sandra Cisneros. Typically, like I said, we would do popcorn reading where I would call on participants to read out loud. However, because it's a re-recording, I'll be the one that's reading it out loud. And all of our PDFs should be available with our emails. 11 by Sandra Cisneros. What they don't understand about birthdays and what they never tell you is that when you're 11, you're also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And when you wake up on your 11th birthday, you expect to feel 11, but you don't. You open your eyes and everything's just like yesterday, only it's today. And you don't feel 11 at all. You feel like you're still 10. And you are, underneath the ear that makes you 11. Like some days you might say something stupid, and that's the part of you that's still 10. Or maybe some days you might need to sit on your mama's lap because you're scared, and that's the part of you that's 5. And maybe one day when you're all grown up, maybe you will need to cry like if you're 3, and that's okay. That's what I tell Mama when she's sad and needs to cry. Maybe she's feeling 3. Because the way you grow old is kind of like an onion, or like the rings inside a tree trunk, or like my little wooden dolls that fit one inside the other, each ear inside the next one. That's how being 11 years old is. You don't feel 11, not right away. It takes a few days, weeks even, sometimes even months, before you can say 11 when they ask you. And you don't feel smart 11, not until you're almost 12. That's the way it is. Only today, I wish I wasn't only 11 years old rattling inside of me like pennies in a tin Band-Aid box. Today, I wish I was 102 instead of 11, because if I was 102, I'd have no one to say when Mrs. Price put the red sweater on my desk. I would have known to tell her it wasn't mine, instead of just sitting there with that look on my face and nothing coming out of my mouth. Whose is this? Mrs. Price says, and she holds the red sweater up in the air for all the class to see. Whose? It's been sitting in the coat room for a month. Not mine, says everybody. Not me. It has to belong to somebody, Mrs. Price keeps saying, but nobody can remember. It's an ugly sweater with red plastic buttons and a collar and sleeves all stretched out, like if you could use it for a jump rope. It's maybe 1,000 years old, and even if it belonged to me, I wouldn't say so. Maybe because I'm skinny, maybe because she doesn't like me. That stupid Sylvia Saldivar says, I think it belongs to Rachel. An ugly sweater like that, all raggedy and old. But Mrs. Price believes her. Mrs. Price takes the sweater and puts it right on my desk. But when I open my mouth, nothing comes out. That's not, I don't, you're not mine, I finally say in a little voice that was maybe me when I was 4. Of course it's yours, Mrs. Price says. I remember you wearing it once. Because she's older and a teacher, she's right and I'm not. Not mine, not mine, not mine, but Mrs. Price is already turning to page 32 and math problem number 4. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm feeling sick inside. Like the part of me that's 3 wants to come out of my eyes, only I squeeze them shut tight and bite down on my teeth real hard and try to remember today I am 11, 11. Mama is making a cake for me tonight, and when Papa comes home, everybody will sing happy birthday to you. But when the sick feeling goes away and I open my eyes, the red sweater's still sitting there like a big red mountain. I move the red sweater to the corner of my desk with my ruler. I move my pencil and books and eraser as far from it as possible. I even move my chair a little to the right. Not mine, not mine, not mine. In my head, I'm thinking how long till lunchtime, how long till I can take the red sweater and throw it over the schoolyard fence, or leave it hanging on a parking meter, or bunch it up into a little ball and toss it in the alley. Except when math period ends, Mrs. Price says, loud and in front of everybody, now, Rachel, that's enough, because she sees I've shoved the red sweater to the tippy tip corner of my desk and it's hanging all over the edge like a waterfall. But I don't care. Rachel, Mrs. Price says. She says it like she's getting mad. You put that sweater right on now, and no more nonsense. But it's not now, Mrs. Price says. This is when I wish I wasn't 11, because all the years inside of me 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 are pushing at the back of my eyes when I put one arm through one sleeve of the sweater that smells like cottage cheese, and then the other arm through the other, and stand there with my arms apart like if the sweater hurts me, and it does, all itchy and full of germs that aren't mine. That's when everything I've been holding in since this morning, since when Mrs. Price put the sweater on my desk, finally lets go. And all of a sudden I'm crying in front of everybody. I wish I was invisible, but I'm not. I'm 11 and it's my birthday today, and I'm crying like I'm 3 in front of everybody. I put my head down on the desk and bury my face in my stupid clown sweater arms. My face all hot and spit coming out of my mouth because I can't stop the little animal noises from coming out of me until there aren't any more tears left in my eyes, and it's just my body shaking like when you have the hiccups, and my whole head hurts like when you drink milk too fast. But the worst part is right before the bell rings for lunch. That stupid Phyllis Lopez, who is even dumber than Sylvia Saldivar, says she remembers the red sweater is hers. I take it off right away and give it to her, only Mrs. Price pretends like everything's okay. Today I'm 11. There's a cake Mama's making for tonight, and when Papa comes home from work, we'll eat it. There will be candles and presents, and everybody will sing happy birthday to you, Rachel. Only it's too late. I'm 11 today. I'm 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But I wish I was 102. I wish I was anything but 11, because I want today to be far away already. Far away like a runaway balloon, like a tiny O in the sky. So tiny, tiny, you have to close your eyes to see it. So that was 11 by Sandra Cisneros. Here's a quick refresher of the short story. So we read 11, and in 11, we have our main character, Rachel, who is a young girl who just turned 11. She opens up the story by explaining the ways in which birthdays are complicated and how we feel different ages. At school, her teacher, Mrs. Price, places a red sweater on her desk and later forces her to wear it even though it's not hers. Later on in the story, the sweater is revealed to be someone else's, but Rachel feels hurt and embarrassed by her teacher's actions. So here's our discussion portion. Our first question was, explain how Rachel can be 11, but also all her younger ages as well. So a couple of answers that we received during the meeting was that sometimes Rachel can feel like a little onion where each layer is a different age. And if you peel the onion, then we're going to go to the core of her age. We also explained that even though she's 11, she can also feel like 4 with her emotions. And it doesn't matter what age you are to be able to feel like a younger age. Our second question was, what does 11 say about growing up? And do you think age always equals maturity? For this question, we had several students talking about how even when you grow up, you can still feel like your younger ages. And the character Mrs. Price, who was Rachel's teacher, was mentioned when participants said that even though she's older, she's not exactly mature with the way she's handling her emotions, and she seems sort of immature throughout the story. And finally, our final question was, in what ways do past years stay with a person through time? So this question connected with our other two questions. Um, a lot of students said that even though Rachel is 11, she still feels connected with her younger ages, and despite being older, you can't help but feel younger at certain times. Here was our community service part. So it's how can we help our communities based on 11, the short story. Because it's read to respond, our whole basis is reading first and then responding based off of what we read. So the first two were made up by me before the meeting. So we have organizing a donation drive for clothing or donating, and and volunteering to visit schools or community centers. So some other points that we had were volunteering at an orphanage, and then we had donating to a charity, or specifically for a clothing charity, as it connects to the story and the red sweater. Finally, here is our feedback form. So please feel free to fill out this form to give us feedback on today's meeting. You can, like our last form, copy and paste the link or just click it, or you can scan our QR code. And we appreciate all of your thoughts. This was our Q&A portion. Our Q&A portion includes any questions about the reading itself, anything about our meeting as a whole, like awards, about if you missed any forms, if you missed any slides, so I can go back and show you and re-explain, and any questions about our next meetings. So thank you for coming. Our next meeting will be on September 27th. Yeah, September 27th on 9/27 at the same time at 6 p.m. to 6:40 p.m. for PST. So see you then, and thank you for today.